you're telling me that forget actually connecting with somebody, forget building a life with somebody, just get in a relationship, just not be single. The answer is just not be single, because surely you have no quality of life.
You old lady. Yo, party people, it's Ashley of SingleWomanChronicles.com, where being single is a beautiful choice rather than a miserable circumstance. Mm-hmm. And I know y'all are a little confused because it's like, who these heifers? I'm sorry for calling y'all heifers, but I know my people. So. Who this woman, okay? So I have a couple of friends with me today, because we was going to brunch, and I just figured, why not have a girl chit chat and just talk about this dating situation? Mm-hmm. Because I feel like people try to box single people in all the time and make it seem like everyone's having the same experience as a single person, mm-hmm. especially as a single woman. Mm-hmm. And it's a lie. Mm-hmm. What that girl say? That lady say? The devil is a liar.
Yes.
I probably said that all wrong. And it's different, but y'all know what I mean. So I just wanted to have this conversation and ask a few questions because I thought that was necessary and it might help y'all out, might boost y'all confidence, might give you a little confirmation. That's what I feel. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves. I'll introduce myself first, just in case you don't know me. This is your first time clicking on a video. My name is Ashley, and I am the founder, creator of Single Woman Chronicles. And I am originally from Jackson, Mississippi. I have been in Atlanta, Georgia since I was 14. I am 35 now, so that is a long time. So, yes, I am 35, and currently I am single. Who wants to go next?
Okay. Hi, I'm Brittany L. Smith. I'm originally born and raised in Miami, Florida. And I've been in Atlanta since 2011.
Dang, it's been already.
I know.
It's been a minute.
I can't believe it's been
almost 15 years.
Shh, wow. Don't count. Yeah.
Okay. I am Adrienne Brathwaite. I am a little bit of a nomad. So while I am originally from the DMV area, or area, as we say, I have lived in New York for about 6 years, LA, and I just moved to Atlanta. From LA. I don't know, since July. So it's been a couple of months. I'm very fresh here. So we don't see what this date is like. I don't know.
So the reason I said to introduce themselves by where they're from or where they live, because I feel like a big not characteristics, I can't think, a big factor of your dating has to do with your location. Because different cities have different cultures. Mm-hmm. So I always say if I was still living in Jackson, Mississippi, I'm pretty sure I'd be married and settled down by now, because the culture of Jackson, Mississippi is go to college, come out, get a nice 9-to-5, get married, have some kids, settle down, live happily ever after. That is the goalpost when you live in a smaller city. But when you live in somewhere like LA, you from Miami, you live in Atlanta, that ain't the goalpost in these places, especially not Atlanta. Atlanta, okay,
oh Lord,
it's a flex city, okay, it's flexed up, okay, and then it's just really.
It's interesting that you said you'd be married in Jackson, in Jackson, Mississippi, because I'm pretty sure if I was still in Miami, I'd still be single.
I'm pretty sure you would too.
Yeah. I would still be single in Miami.
I don't know. You never
in the DMV.
No, I know.
Toss up. I might.
It would. That's true.
I don't know.
She gets a toss up. I'd probably still be single in Miami. I went through the whole Latin flavor stuff, and everybody's beautiful. All bodies are beautiful. All cultures are beautiful. But I'm just saying, y'all weren't checking for black girls. So
let's be real. People too sensitive. Well, that's your experience. That's the real.
Have you been to Miami?
Right.
Go to Miami and tell me.
And you come back and you
and tell me.
I'm not talking Miami South Beach. I'm talking Miami.
Get out of South Beach and then come talk to me. But anyway, I digress.
So I'm going to ask the ladies 3 different questions. We're all going to answer and just discuss it. And I want to just say what the questions are before we get into it. So the first question will be, I'm going to start with what's a myth that single people often get that you wish would go away? The second one would be, what's the biggest struggle in your current single season? And the last would be, what are you looking forward to in the future when you do meet your person? Because you know me, I'm all about hope, and we keep hope alive.
Hey,
no matter if we're in Atlanta or not, we keep hope alive. Okay. So before we jump into it, I just want everybody to give me a brief description of what your dating life has been. I will start off.
Please do.
If you've been following me for a while, you know the reason I started Single Woman Chronicles was a very petty reason. I was a single friend. I was tired of being the single friend because all my friends were single, serial monogamous. So they would try to give me advice. Well, this is back in it. I started before we was.
I was there when you started.
He was there, but the concept in my brain.
Oh, okay.
Started before
we had to get this straight.
So serial monogamous friends keep giving me advice that they don't know what they're talking about, because you don't live this life. So you don't understand me. So I started the platform just so people, women who were single would have a voice and we can commune. Because at that time, it wasn't like it is now where everybody and their mama got something to say about being single. It was like very small. So my experience, like I didn't have the boyfriend in high school, did not have like the boyfriend in college. I had some few sporadically through like, but no, nothing serious. Adult life, I've been in one serious relationship. Longest relationship I've ever been in was 1 year that was forced. Because
I forgot.
That nigga was crazy. She forgot about him. She hated his existence. The only reason I stayed in that relationship for that long was because a long time I felt like I could not keep a man. So I forced myself to stay in the relationship for at least a year to prove it to myself. So even though it was very emotionally abusive, he didn't hit me, but it was very emotionally abusive. I've talked about it. Y'all go watch the videos. But so yeah, I've been basically single since then. Well, I did have a relationship that lasted 2 business days this year. But y'all heard about that one too. Go watch a few episodes back, because I talk about Do Actually Got a Man. But so yeah, I've been pretty much single for the majority of my life. I've had, very heavy situationships. Because situationships can drain you worse than a real relationship. Because you don't know what you're doing. You can't, when it ain't established on truth, man. You don't know what you got going on. It's too much. I don't know where we going. What's the goalpost here? So yeah, so now I am single after my 2 business day relationship and ready to mingle. So 35, never been married, no kids, and life be fun. I'll be outside. Cute. Okay. All right, who wants to go next? I'm gonna take
right. Yeah, very similar. Okay. No boyfriend at all. Period. Just straight single life here. Because I've lived in so many different like big cities, you would think that the experiences really would be different, but they are not. Yeah, I don't know how I would describe it. Would just be really. I don't want to say tragic is definitely like
it's up there,
extreme. So it's like a little below that, but yeah, sometimes a little like.
Is devastating a good word, or is that
maybe we can go? That's like tragic light. Tragic light. I guess like that's kind of what it's been. It's been like certain expectations that have been placed on me about maybe like who I am or things that like what I would do, and I'm like, it's like, so no, it's just it's been a lot. It's been really trying to navigate this space, the dating world as like a Christian woman has been really really tough, in the church and outside of the church. Like it's kind of the same, unfortunately. So, and then living in LA, we'll talk about that later. But that was wrong. So yeah. It hasn't been the greatest. I mean, you meet different types of people. It's been great, and I will say those experiences have developed me into the woman I am. But still,
I get it.
Yeah.
How long do we have?
You ain't got it. Why'd you need it on me?
It all started when
a good 120 seconds.
Honestly, okay, so I'm single, have been single. I want to say I've been single all my life, and all my adult life. I have been in situationships probably throughout my 20s, because you run into people. Well, let's just see where this goes. I mean, I like your vibe. I just don't want to put a title on it. You want to waste my time. And at the time, I didn't know enough to know that you were wasting my time and you were going to waste my time. I'm giving like my emotions and my feelings and investing in you and in this, but you are just, you could take it or leave it, or take it or leave me. And then throughout the course of my 30s, in this entire decade, I am still single. I have not even been on a date in my 30s. A majority of that is because God and I, big love to Jesus, he said, I want you to myself. I want you to myself for 2 years. And what that meant to me was just, I needed a lot of healing. I needed a lot of purging, and I needed a lot of healing from what I've been through, what I thought about myself, what I would allow others to treat, how they would like to treat me. And then once we got through the healing process, and that involved therapy, that involved self-reflection, a lot of old habits that had to die, a lot of old thoughts that had to die, picking up new thoughts, picking up new habits, having some self-love and self-worth, going through that process, and then spending time enjoying being single. I know that's like a really hard thing because people think like, I'm tired of being single, but I spent so much of my 20s thinking like, oh, this is another year I'm single. This is another year nobody wants me. That it was like a punishment rather than seeing like, right now you have nobody to be held accountable to. So what do you want to do? What makes you happy? Where do you want to go? What do you want to explore? And I just got back from some European vacations.
Just a few of them.
Just a few of them. Just a light 4 stamps in the passport, But doing things that I love to do that make me happy, and feeding my soul and being joyous, and how to become a whole individual. And then now saying like, okay, now I can choose a partner from the healthiest parts of me, because I know the healthiest parts of me. Now I can choose a partner based on what my boundaries are and the respect that I have for my boundaries, and I can pinpoint that, or who's going to respect me or who's not going to respect me. So being out there with eyes to know like, how do I protect me and love myself and choose better than I had in the past definitely makes a difference. So that's currently where I am.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, we know where everyone is. So now let's get into the questions, and I am not going first.
Okay.
You got notes, so you might as well go
I do
first.
have notes.
right?
What's the first question?
What is a myth that a lot of you think society puts on single people that you wish would die? I hope I don't got the same answers.
So I'm going first, so it doesn't matter. I would say there's 3 things that bother me.
I know, like, ma'am, say one. Nope, you got to say one, because you got to say one.
Timing, aging, and doing, and I'll explain that.
Okay.
Because I think, one, when I say doing as a myth, it's just like, you're not doing enough to not be single.
Right.
You're not going out there. Oh, you're not healed enough. Oh, you're not putting yourself in the right place. Baby, I've been on this continent. I've been on the next continent. I've been in another country. I've been in a different state, all paid for by myself because I can. And going to places that I like and that I enjoy, and places that I would love to have a rapport with people. I'm not going to put myself in a position of a place that I don't like, because I don't like whatever caliber is there. I don't like the vibe of what that place is. That's just not something I enjoy. I don't want to have to, I know somebody who says, how you get on is how you gonna ride. I don't want to get on something that I don't like, in a position, in a place that I don't like, and have to maintain that because I shouldn't have been there in the first place. So it's not something that's like, you're not doing enough, or you're not like trying enough. Is like, you can be doing all of the things. Baby, if I'm single, it's because I'm single and I haven't met him yet. I don't need a whole roster of people. I just need my one person that is going to be for me, and I'm going to meet him whenever I'm going to meet him, and I'm going to meet him at the time I'm going to meet him. And I'll say this just so they don't get mad at me. And also aging. Aging is a big one. Is people think like, well, you're getting older. And you don't want to be single all those years. So now you're telling me that forget actually connecting with somebody. Forget building a life with somebody.
Just get in a
relationship. Just not be single.
Point.
The answer is just not be single, because surely you have no quality of life.
You old maid.
You have no quality of life if you're single. Like, I don't think you should. Somebody asked me, well, what are you going to do now that you're single? Probably book another trip.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
Okay.
He's going to be somewhere. I just need him to be on Earth. Like, that's my requirement.
I might take my chance with aliens.
What does their health care look like? I feel like, you know, and my last myth is just that, listen, if it's not my time, it's not my time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? There's nothing I could do to force time.
Right.
There's nothing I could do to be forceful. And I think regardless, through anything that people have gone through, is when you try to force something and it's not organic and it's not the timing, it's not going to work anyway, because then it's in your might. It's in all the ways that you have to force and strive and connect and break things to happen, and it's not an organic experience. I get we live in the day of social media and like dating apps and things like that. And so you just like, okay, yeah, I know plenty of people who met on dating apps and who are married, happily married, have some kids, faithfully married. That's important. And that's great because it was their time and they met their person. But if it's not my time, or my time hasn't come yet to meet my person, no matter how or what age I am, you know, then, and no matter what I'm doing, like, I can't force any of those situations to happen. And I don't want to forcefully have a relationship. I want a peaceful relationship to be upon me.
Okay.
That's my answer.
Yeah, this is not my answer, but I totally agree with that. Like, you're not doing enough.
Yes.
Like, that bothers me so much. Like, what are you doing? How is this my fault?
Right.
Like, I am doing the things, like all the things. But anyway, I digress. I think my biggest frustration is like that I'm desperate. Like, just because I'm single doesn't mean
you should take anybody.
That I will take anybody, because I have standards, okay?
Right.
And they're not unrealistic. Like, when I tell people what I want, they're like, that's not
Right.
like anything crazy. They're very realistic, very practical, especially like, yes, the older I get, I have to like, that list that you had when you were 15, and you'd be like, now sis.
Right.
Okay, let's take that off.
Do you have
But
insurance?
I mean, practical things.
your
You know,
dental
what are your
like?
finances looking like? And not saying that you have to be a millionaire, but like, just, are you stable? Or how do you handle your finances? Do you pay your bills on time? You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Like, what are your expectations about like a family or not? Or like practical things. But I'm not desperate by any means. I do desire a relationship. I want that, but like,
Not saying
I'm
yes
not
to just
going
anything.
to say yes and allow myself to be disrespected for the sake of saying that I am in a relationship, because I'd rather be in a peaceful, happy relationship, something that's healthy, something that we're both building each other up, than me just, my self-esteem is like down in the ground but I got a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not doing it. So yeah, that I'm desperate. Single people are not, at least most of us are not. I think our standards are just at a place where we're like, this is what I'm willing to accept. And if we don't find it, then you just don't find it. My mom has always said, I am in a very peaceful place in my life, and are you a person that I'm willing to like disrupt a little bit of that peace for? And if you're not, bye. No, thank you.
I think this is disrupting the peace. That's a given, but I'd be like, if I'm not willing to disrupt my routine for you, when you get that good routine flowing, you got your bedtime on point, you got your meal prep day on point, you got your chill by yourself day on point, and somebody come in your life and want to talk to you on the phone every day. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, it's a good thing.
You gotta be worth it.
But like, are you worth me disrupting my routine because I gotta stay up a little bit longer for you? I done wasted my unlimited text messages talking to you. Like,
unlimited.
Don't do this. I wasn't going to say this one. I was going to say another one, but I think this one has to be said after what y'all said. The big myth that you've been single for a long time because something is wrong with you. I be wanting to punch people in their throat. Because it's just like, what? Like, you literally have people on Beyonce's internet who are upset Because secretly it's misery. Because you mad because you got kids. So you saying the people who got kids, I'm looking at you crazy because you don't have kids. Because I chose
not having kids,
not having
being
kids
single and not
very-
having kids is just like it's a
like,
foreign
yeah,
concept.
This girl posted yesterday. She was like, asking me why I don't have a kid and I'm not married. It's crazy work.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
I'm being
work.
insulted by that. Like, I've
not-
offended you because I have no children,
Like, what?
and I'm single.
Crazy
Right.
work. But yeah, it's just like, what? So you think I'm flawed just because I chose? And that's another thing. That's why my motto is being single is a beautiful choice, not a circumstance. Because people really look at you, especially at a certain age. They look at you like you did something wrong because you ended up here single rather than you chose to be here. Yeah. You see what I mean? They're thinking like, no, this is a circumstance you were put in because you had no choice. But I have a choice. Like, you think a woman today can't go and just choose somebody? Like, I can just
She can
call
choose a couple of bodies.
call that dude who been in your DMs forever.
A couple of bodies.
Like, all right, I'm ready. Okay, Paul. Let's do it. Like, so I just hate that notion. And a lot of people, I know I've seen so many people feed into it. And that's what breaks me, because it's like, you're literally thinking there's something wrong with you. So if you leave from a place where you feel like you're flawed and that's the reason you're single, because I've led from that place for a long time. And I had to overcome it and was like, girl, it ain't your fault that these men ain't got good taste. It ain't your fault that they ain't got no manners and no morals and no values. So yeah, that doesn't mean that. Because exactly. Because it's just when you are waiting for like that person, it's just people make commitment forever seem like it's just something that's supposed to happen easily and quickly. It's not.
And doesn't take any work.
Yeah.
It's
like I choose you today. Like, you don't have to continuously choose to show up and do. Because life has hands for everybody. I don't care who
But
you are.
even just on the point of being with somebody, it scares the heck out of me, the thought of choosing wrong. Choosing wrong scares me more than being alone. Yeah. Because I'm like, because when I see people in relationships and that person flips and turns into this whole other person. Because what I'm learning about men from my married friends is they go through something called a midlife crisis, and they do wild stuff that they've never done before. So just imagine a dude who already a little crazy. He done already flipped, and then add midlife crisis on top of that.
Be like, oh no.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm finna end up on that. Fatal attraction. So yes, that's the one myth. So don't believe the myth. That is so stupid, because I know some of the most amazing people who are single and some of the craziest people who stay in relationships. Y'all know the people on your timeline. You're like, how y'all stay in a relationship? I know she crazy. Because that's what it alludes to. It alludes to, if you're in a relationship all the time, that means that you're good stock. But if you're always single, that means you're bad stock. And what's crazy is men don't have those same expectations. Because if you see a man who's been single, like David Banner just came out talking about he 50 and now he ready to settle down.
They'd be like, sir. No,
but the thing is, for him, like, for him being a man, regardless of his age, it seems like he can have these like 3-4 decades of women to choose from. I hope he doesn't date somebody in his 20s, but from the 20s, 30s, 40s are going to be his choices. Very rarely probably will he choose somebody in his 50s. No. But men get to have that access to say, because they get to have kids till forever. Right. It's never a problem of like, now you want to do whatever. But then, if a woman decided that she wanted to get married in her 50s.
No. Like Vivica Fox, when they roasted her, they were like, look at her now. She looks awful. And I'm like, that lady has aged. People don't remember what aging actually looks like. Because it's like, when you look around you, and if it's not a celebrity, these people have aged. That's what aging looks like. Y'all looking at these celebrities who done pumped 6 million,
not 6 million
pieces of collagen in their face, and lifted
access to the best nutritionist and the
nutritionist facial. They be taking blood out their arms, putting it in their face. Like, what is happening? I just seen homegirl do a face massage with a face massage.
The
going in her mouth.
Yeah.
And pushing
non-surgical
stuff. Yes. Like, what? Y'all got access to stuff we don't have access to. But yeah, so just next one. What is your biggest struggle currently in dating. I'm gonna go first because I'm not going first on the next one. My biggest struggle. Okay, so just my background, BC me, before Christ. So I did not grow up in church. Did not grow up in church. I did not come to the Lord until about 24 was when I got baptized, but I was still in these streets. Okay, so like I was a hot girl for real. Okay, I used to be a bottle waitress. I was in the club, dancing on the couches and on the bars. Okay, your girl was outside for real. Okay?
I was there. I know.
Real hot girl. When Meg say real hot girl-ish, I know. Okay, I'm dating ballers, athletes.
Could you imagine
drug dealers
and Meg at the same time being hot?
Oh my God. With Glorilla on it. My God. Listen. So I'm BC. That was BC me. Now for Christ. Celibacy journey. Dating God's way, which is being intentional. Not just picking men for instant gratification. Because I am very good at passing time with someone I know I'm never going to end up with. I'm really good at that. Like it's great. I can do it. Yeah, it's really wonderful. God bless. I can do it. But I know it leads nowhere because I know I want marriage. So my biggest struggle in this current season is not saying just F it and start doing what the world wants for temporary gratification. Because for the most part, I'm chilling. I'm busy. But when I'm not busy, I go outside, concerts, festivals. Love homecoming season. So excited. Very excited. Go on dates here and now. But there are moments where I just be wanting to call somebody to cuddle. I want to call somebody to watch TV, but I don't want to always have to go out by myself. I don't want to have to always do that. And I know if I go back to my old ways of doing things, which is just having that dude on my line, and I know he don't mean nothing, and we just chilling, we just kicking it, we just passing the time, I struggle with that. Like, I struggle with just saying, I'm going to take the wheel, God, because you take it too long. Boom. Just move. So that's currently my biggest struggle. Because I'm very happy. It used to be loneliness. I'm over that now. But it's not anymore. But yeah, right now it's kind of like, you're about to do this world way because, God, you take too long.
And that's real. You have to be like, I know, I just love to say it because you can be a Christian and be like, Jesus, come on, bruh. Like,
what I gotta do, bruh? Swear to God.
You don't see this?
Swear to God.
You see all, but you don't see
this. Why my relationship had to be 2 business days? Like, I be prayed up, but my relationship on the 2 business days, that's wild, Jesus.
That's wild. You said 2 business
I knew he wasn't the one, but you could have at least given me 6 months. Give me 6 months to act right with him.
Give me a trial period.
Like, dang.
The job gives me 90 days. I can't get no 90 days, no 89 days.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I can't have nothing.
8 to 9 minutes.
I can't have nothing.
Wrap this up.
Wrap it up
today.
But wrap it up, God put you in my life. I can't have no fun.
So we get it. We get it.
That's my biggest struggle, but I'm holding on strong. Go ahead.
She says you going. Ooh, I don't know. This was a tough one for me, like trying to figure that out. But I think one of them, there are a couple, I'm not even gonna lie, but I think like setting boundaries and like sticking to it and being,
I'm sorry, my dog, y'all know him. Y'all know I have an elderly dog. And he's 101. So y'all let my baby alone. He be coughing. He do what he wants. I just let him do what he wants. He's fine. He does what he wants because he's living in his last days.
He earned it. Okay, he did.
But all right.
Like setting the boundaries, like sticking to it, and like not being afraid, kind of what people think. It's so funny. I was talking to my mom this morning. I am a people pleaser. Admit it. Like, it is just what it is, and that is something that I have been like working on. And so I find myself, I guess, relenting or feeling like this is the boundary that I have, and then be like, but if I like kind of enforce this, is this person gonna be mad at me? Is what's gonna happen? I don't want to rock the boat. Blah 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 blah. And so I operate sometimes in that space, and I know, especially when it comes to relationships, that is just not where it's at. It's not serving me. It's honestly not serving that person. And so that is really something that I have been trying to work on with, just really enforcing the boundaries that I've set. And that really just comes maybe like, don't talk to me that way. Like, I don't appreciate that. And if the person gets offended by it, like, oh well, like I don't live in the like space, and I need to like live in that more and just like own like this is who I am, and you can take it or you can leave it.
You have to be healthy.
It is what it is.
I just want to piggyback on that just to add this because I feel like people say have standards, but people don't understand how hard it is to have standards because of the consequences that come with having standards.
Yes.
People feel like having standards automatically makes life better, but it doesn't. I'm gonna tell you why. Having standards
and keeping them,
having them standing on your standards, standing on business, standing on business will initially set you up for a lot of rejection, and the rejection is going to feel sucky because you're going to be like, dang, if I didn't set that boundary, then they would have accepted me. But then you would not get what you actually wanted. So in the end, you have to start viewing it as like, this boundary is being set for my benefit. Because it don't got nothing to do with them. Because you have to be, the thing about standard is you have to be willing to lose somebody.
Yeah.
But not your
to protect yourself.
Exactly. So just understand that when you go through it. And then eventually it gets easier. It does. Like eventually you like, okay, that's your problem. Because my people pleasing, well, I don't think I'm a people pleaser. I used to be for these niggas. But not no more. It had kind of more so for me was more family. Around family and stuff and like setting boundaries for that. It's just harder. But even now with them, I'd be like, whatever.
Right. But there's a difference.
You're gonna be mad.
Right. There's a difference between that because when you're first starting out with your standards, and you know, I'm gonna stand on business, I'm gonna do this, it's gonna be great. Tasha ain't got no standards. Tasha don't stand up to her standards. Tasha gonna have 3 men lined up and you have none. And it's like, if I cared about myself less, sorry Tasha, then I would have all of these options, or it looks like I would have all of these options, but now I have no options because I chose to like myself.
I can't listen. I'm gonna tell you, my roster definitely got shorter when I started standing on business. My roster, like back in the day, I had a line because I didn't have no parameters.
You didn't have any parameters.
Like,
but then when you go through the process and the journey of it, then you realize like, oh, I never lost me.
No,
and I'm good with that because oh god, losing yourself, then you got to get yourself back. Then you got to come back to your standards anyway. It's just a lot of work.
It takes 6 months to lose yourself. It take about 2 years to get yourself back.
Like, girl, what is happening? But I love that you said like preparing yourself for rejection. Like that's the life that it is, unfortunately. And being an actor, I'm like, Lord, I face rejection in this field every day. Why I got to do it now? Thank you. Why do I have to deal with this in my love life? But it is that like having standards for yourself and like, even though, again, being a people pleaser, I still be like, no, I can't. Because I have to go home with myself. And I have to live with myself.
And like yourself.
And like, even when I set those standards and I have to like tell somebody like, no, I don't do that, or no, this is not happening, I be going home like, God, why, Lord? Like, it is frustrating because then you feel like, am I going to be alone? Or like, where is that person for me? And blah, blah, blah. But I know that like being able to go to sleep at night and be at peace is far greater than anything else. Peace is. Like the stuff that I have avoided because I've been like, this is what my standard is. I'm like, you know what, God, you saved me from so much
I might cry for 6 minutes, but I spared myself 6 years of heartache. Okay, this is gonna sound. Bear with me. This is my answer. I know we talked around a bit, but this is my answer for number 2. Something that I'm struggling with in this season. This is gonna sound oxymoronic, but I currently am struggling with accepting that God has good for me in a relationship. I understand the decisions that I have made about trash individuals in the past. I understand the part that I played in selecting trash individuals and not standing on my boundaries, not standing on business when it comes to that. I understand that. I have gone through the healing process. I have done therapy. I have enjoyed my single time. All of that is wonderful and great. And now that I'm in the process of that I've done all that and you've healed from that, I've gotten accustomed to it just being me. And even though Ashley said, she didn't grow up with God, I've grown up with God. And even my relationship with God has grown over the years. And now I'm in relationship with him. And so now because I'm in relationship with him and because I pray and understanding how faith and process work, not to get too churchy, but understanding how I can talk to him and I know the way that he talks back to me and could probably get me the answers that I'm looking for. And that's great. Everybody I would love for Jesus to answer my prayer about a man. That's wonderful. I am terrified because I've spent so long being by myself, knowing how to take care of myself, being in charge of myself, being the host of my emotions and my well-being, that the thought of meeting somebody else, even though he sent from God, because I have one patience in me. I don't need to date everybody. I have one patience in me for one person.
What that even mean?
Just one.
I got patience for one.
I got patience for one. I don't need to date a whole bunch of people to figure out who my husband is. I'm specifically praying to God for your best for me. And your best for me is not going to come in a myriad of people. And that's okay if you have a different story because we have different journeys. I'm talking about for me, I have one patience.
I have
one patience. And the fact of knowing that when God sends his person to me, it freaks me out because I'm I know cognitively that I've done all the things. I know cognitively that I've been obedient. I've done what you told me. I've showed up where you told me. I've helped other people. I've encouraged other people. I'm encouraging myself. I know where to read. I know where to pray. But it is terrifying. And I feel like there is still a wall between me and God of accepting the fact of Lord, I'm laying down my fear and I'm letting your best come to me rather than I'm talking a good game. I'm going to pray for my husband when he gets there. But in the doing process of now, even though I have to meet him and we have to like each other first and then become boyfriend and girlfriend and then fiance and then husband, I'm terrified right now. I can pray you for over there, but then right here is a little terrifying and scary. And that's oxymoronic to think of how are you praying for and expecting a thing to come when you're terrified of it. But that's just my human emotions. And that's just where I am today. I'm multifaceted and, emotions are a thing.
Just the first part of what you said, though. Just you trusting that God has good for you. That's I think, a big fear for not just you, a lot of people. But you put words to it because, it's true. Because especially when you have been single like us most of our lives. And you have only experienced these ghetto.
Yeah, and that's the thing I want to say. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I've specifically only ever had L's. There is not, if I could redo my dating history or situationship history again, I want to say it in front and center when I say this, I would not choose any of those people again. I don't care. Out of any, I would not make any of those decisions again. And so, some people are there was that one guy who got away. Baby, I'm so glad Satan took you away from me. But no, I just, because when I say I've only had L's, I've never, not just for the sake of saying somebody's girlfriend, but I've never been in a healthy place. I've never felt like my presence mattered enough. I never felt chosen, and nobody ever picked me to be their girlfriend, picked me to introduce them to their parents, picked me to introduce them to their friends. And for those of you oh my God, I can't believe she's like that. You don't know that somebody is doing that to you right now. I'm gonna free you on today. If you have not met his friends, his parents, people who are significant in his life, you are the situationship person. And you might lie to yourself and play like that's okay, but get your feelings up out of there because your feelings are invested. You over here planning the holidays, Thanksgiving. He is spending Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve with somebody else who is more important to him than you, but you on the backup side. That was a tidbit. Free advice for the day.
Baby, I'm going to free you again. I got a brother. And my brother is a thought. And my brother brings people around me and my mama. What do you mean? For the holidays. My brother will bring you for Thanksgiving another girl.
On the day.
On the day of. And another. That don't mean nothing. How is he listen.
You're laughing,
how
is
he
I have met them. And they think they're special. We're like, baby, you're not going to be here.
Be bringing cookies and everything. Me
you're
and my mom
look at.
My mom is just, my mom don't care. My mom literally looked at one girl on Christmas Day and was like, these cookies are good. Too bad you ain't going to be here for long. I'm going to go get dressed.
Yes, she did.
Mom.
And she wasn't. She wasn't here for New Year's Day. She's not dressed. It's a whole story.
I said all that to say, a man had what he says has to align with his actions. Because a lot of women gonna listen to, oh, well, if his actions are saying he likes me, then you're gonna listen to the actions. But if his words are saying that he likes you, you're gonna listen to the words, even if he's not acting like it. They gotta align.
They gotta match.
They got to align. Because if they don't align, deception is happening.
Yes.
Something going on. Something going on. And you feel it in your shine out, but you're not doing nothing about it. So.
Right. And this is why I say all that to say is like, I want my W. My W is going to be my husband, is going to be my person.
Right.
I don't need to get to know somebody else and go through the whole process of being in a relationship if you are not my person. Whatever I need to learn for me and my vessel is going to be with my husband. So like when you've only had L's and you're waiting for your W and you're specifically waiting for God's person, my individual God's person, how I'm waiting is different than how Ashley is and how Adrian is, and that's fine. Yeah. But for me and myself, my W is only going to be one person. And that's terrifying.
Yeah. All right. Last question. Which, y'all, this one, boy, I would think for days. I was like, what am I looking at?
That was the actual first question that I knew.
I knew, because you
I did.
You Terry in that. You Terry in that imagery of what the future gonna hold. I don't.
I'm a dreamer, baby.
So the last question is, what are you looking forward to when you do meet your person? Brittany, go first because she's ready. She's ready.
Right. I am a person who is really big on the small things.
She is.
And a lot of people are like, no, it's the big things that matter. Anybody can do big things. Little things are consistency. Little things are day to day. I am so ready. I cannot wait for my person to show up for me. Show up for me in what I do. Show up for me in support. Show up for me in love. Show up for me with my friends and my family. Because, and I say showing up for me, yes, physically, but also mentally be present. How was your, did you get I remember that you liked babe, guess what? I can't believe that we got the, we're gonna go see I don't know, an artist that I really like. And taking enough knowledge and actually being intentional on things that I like and that I care about, for that to matter to them. Yes, everybody's happiness is literally their own responsibility, but sharing in that. Ashley is my best friend. Adrian is my friend. They just met today. I introduced them. But when I bring my person around, it shouldn't be, I hang out with my girls and I can't have y'all ever meet my man. It should be like, oh, friends, here's my man. These are my friends. These are my family. Like when you do something that you love with the people that you love and it's a harmony and it's inclusive, like that means the world to me. And I haven't had that in the past. I haven't had someone shown up for me. I haven't had somebody even just make a sacrifice to say, I want to be there for Brittany because I know that matters. Call me on the phone and check in because you can't make it, or send me flowers because you can't be there in person, or like just being present in the tell me all about it. Oh, right. Did that thing happen too? I remember you were asking about that. Showing up for me. I don't know if that's a love language, but is the way to my heart. Showing up for me. I can't wait till I see it. I'm going to cry. I'm going to bawl. It's going to be a whole thing. I can't wait. But showing up for me and being present in my life on purpose while you still have your own life, because don't be clingy, but
Have
you can
life.
because it's sharing your life.
Yeah.
You can have your own space. You can have your own pleasures and joys. You know, you shouldn't be so focused on one person, something, that you completely forget to neglect you completely neglect what is important to you. Because I've done that. I've been so involved in their business that I've neglected things that I have on my own. But you can share the space. I can have a life, you can have a life, and we can both bring those lives together and enjoy what we love about each other. So I cannot wait.
No, she was ready for that.
I sure was.
was.
I'm waiting for it.
I'm ready-ish. I honestly, I want like a partner, right? Like, really, I always say, like, I just want someone to, like, walk this life with. And as much as I can do this alone, I've been doing it, I've been thugging it out, figuring it out, I don't want to. Okay? And
I'm going to be princess treatment.
And so, like, I think about when I moved here. I was packing up my apartment, and I'm a planner, okay? Like, very type A, like, okay, this day we're going to do this, blah, 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 blah. But at a certain point, it just started getting overwhelming. And I was just like, it would be so much better if I had somebody to do this with. Like, to move, to pack up this stuff, somebody who can calm me down when I'm starting to get overwhelmed and just feeling a little frustrated. And I look forward to that. I really look forward to coming home and sitting down with my partner, and we're talking about our day, or figuring out something together, or, I don't know, traveling. Like, I currently live with my sister and her husband, and it's been so interesting to get a front row view of, like, a marriage through good and bad, you know, and through, like, figuring certain things out and pushing through the day-to-day. Like, that is just so interesting, how they speak to one another, how they communicate, like, all of that stuff. And I'm, like, walking through this life. It's not easy by any means. But it is beautiful when you come on the other side of it and you're like, yes, we like communicated. We got through this. We did da-da-da-da-da. This person supports you. This person like really cares about you. It's the one person you know you can truly, you know, turn to that's physically here, you know, to like turn to. And so I look forward to that. I look forward to waking up next to this person and asking, and you better be asking me the same thing. It's just, how can I make your day better?
You better be asking
like, that's what I, you know, want to do. Like, how can we do that? How can we support each other? How can we be team us? You know,
team us.
And really push it. We have so much stuff that we have to deal with on the outside world that, like, this should be the person and your partner that you, like, really go to bat with against outside the world, you know. Life. So that's what I see.
Okay, I have to write this one down because it went back and forth. At first, I was like, what is it? Is it having someone who won't leave? But then I'm like, I've overcome the abandonment stuff. So that's really not what I'm really looking forward to. Then it hit me. I've been in so many situationships where what people see is not who I am. And I was handled through a lens of like, oh, this is like a fantasy.
No.
Like, I've been a lot of people's fantasies, and it's very disgusting. And I'm going to tell you why, because I'm a human. So, like, I've had a lot of scenarios where a person had a crush on me. And I've even heard men say this. This is how I know the language to put to it. Men say that you can never beat a man's fantasy of who you are. So if a guy has liked you for a long time and then he encounters you, you will never be as good as the fantasy that he painted in his head. So I've realized that has been what I've dealt with a lot of times. So as soon as a guy realized, oh my gosh, she has a flaw because I'm human, and it don't be nothing crazy. It'd be, for example, this guy got mad at me because I was late for a date because he thought I was drunk and I wasn't. He was like, oh, my ex used to drink too much, and when she drank, she got violent. And I'm like, I'm sitting here at this table being mad nice to you and trying to laugh and crack jokes, and you just mad because I was late, and I'm telling you that I'm not drunk.
Did he give you the wrong directions?
girl, my GPS was doing weird stuff, but that's neither here nor there. But it'd be stuff like that, y'all. The stuff I've encountered be the weirdest thing. Or this other guy got mad at me because I cussed him clean out, but he deserved to get cussed clean out.
He did.
He deserved it, and he gonna get mad at me talking about, well, if you would have never done that, then it was just blah, blah. Like, come on, man. But because I have flaws and show that I'm human, I'm often abandoned for them. And so what I'm looking forward to most is to be fully seen and accepted. I often feel unseen. Not even unseen. I often feel misunderstood. I was telling Brittany that. I often feel like, because growing up, I grew up in a family where it was 3 of us in the house, but we never communed in one place. It was like my mom was at work. We ate dinner in our rooms by ourselves. We closed the door. We were very separate. So we don't, like, to this day, I don't know my brother. Like, for real, I don't know his likes, dislikes. I don't know, sir. I know who he is. Like, I know his behavior patterns, but, like, I don't know his favorite color. I don't know that kind of stuff. And my family don't know about that about me. So it's like certain things that they see that they think is me isn't. And I felt the same in relationships. I feel like my friendships see me the most, but I've never had a man to see me and accept me fully. And I feel like being accepted fully, you don't have to worry about being abandoned, because if somebody accepts you fully, they love you.
Yeah.
That's that unconditional stuff. That's that long suffering stuff. Like, I'm gonna let you get through your go through. But it just comes with a lot of grace as well. So I'm looking forward to that person where I don't feel like I have to walk on eggshells and feel like I have to tense up and like not reveal too much of myself too soon.
Yeah. And
that sucks, having to feel like that. But now I kind of be like, want to do it. I'm trying to test the waters.
I had a friend who I haven't spoken to them in years, but I was invited to her wedding, and this is the first time I have ever heard this. I mean, ever in relationships. And in her wedding vows, up there with her spouse, with everybody in the church or venue, she said to her husband, "I've seen the best of you, I've seen the worst of you, and I choose both." And I was like, can you talk about the worst? Right. So it's like, oh my God, I've seen the best of you. You've been like a dream since day one. And this was like more than 10 years ago.
Wow.
And the fact that that stuck in my head is because it's not something that really talks about. It's like, you are going to see the worst of somebody. And depending on how bad that worst is and what you can accept, it's choosing you. Even in your friendships, you don't see, people are not perfect. People are not going to have great days every single day of their life. People can be short. People can be dealing with something that has nothing to do with you. And you might just, catch them on the wrong time, catch them on the wrong day. But you still choose both sides of those. Even in our friendship, we...
Hardest friendship.
Stories.
Swear to God.
For days. We'll do that on a different way.
Swear to God.
First of all, she loves me, so don't get that twisted. Don't, whatever.
It's not a bad It's not a bad thing. It's just, if it ain't been tested, is it real?
Is it right? And you have to choose. And there were even things of just like, even in telling her, it's just like, actually, just because we are not having a good day does not mean I'm going to leave you. We're so beyond that. But I'm just talking about, like, when you're talking about choosing a person and choosing a relationship, it's like, I've seen the best of you. I've seen the worst of you. And I choose both because you're my person. And hopefully your good outweighs your bad.
Right. Hopefully. Oh, Jesus.
Right. And your bad is maybe not so close to the good, or, it's just life and situations. Life happens to everybody. Life has hands for everybody. Listen. And so I just think that's very, very important to know when you're going and choosing somebody. It's like, you're choosing the fantasy of me, but in reality, I am a person. I will have bad days. I will have flaws. As you too have flaws, even though you may not think that you do, sir.
That's why his voice sounded like that.
I bet he did. And I don't like him still.
Still to this day.
To this day.
He probably not watching. He'll
find a way.
Share it with him. All right. Well, these are the questions I had. Anybody want to offer last thoughts or encouragements to the women's out there?
This last part is, I was having this conversation with a friend before we had this, and she said, I look forward to coming in whole as my full self. And I think that's such a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you can come in with your whole self and knowing these are my great qualities, these are my not so great qualities, and I am open and I am here because I don't need you to complete me. I'm complete and whole on my own. I'm looking for us to do this thing together. There are going to be good times. There are going to be bad times. There are going to be things that we balance off of each other. We don't have to think alike because that would be redundant. No. But we can communicate with each other to see how things can get better. Lord knows I don't know half of the things that Ashley does, and I depend on her for most everything technological. Technological is not a word. Technology related.
Technological.
Right.
Was that one? Was that the one?
Technological?
Yeah.
Okay.
See,
there you go.
it takes a village. And Adrian, the things that she's able to do and think about, and I'm just like, la da da. Somebody will figure it out. Just tell me where I need to be. But just coming in as your whole self and being your whole self and embracing that. And it's okay. I know the bad things about me now. I know how I deal with things now. It's just so exciting to say that I am this person and I love me and I'm ready for somebody else to love me on my level or better.
I guess my thing would be encouragement to women who maybe y'all have the experience, because I've been hearing that more and more, people who are like, I've never been in a relationship, I've never had a boyfriend, I'm hearing that more and more, especially in the younger, it makes me sad because a lot of even the younger generation, like on TikTok, like 20s, and these are the times where back in the day, you were in a relationships, but I think right now we're just in a culture, it's because we need to bring begging music back. Back in the day,
in the desert with leather jackets and leather pants. You're not crying in the rain no more. You're not crying in the rain.
They're not Nehuing no more.
No,
they don't got the white shirts on.
They not. More. Ain't nobody begging. Like Tank was. Please don't go. Women was begging back in. She can't love. I can love you better than she can.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? They was down on bended knee. When we bring back begging music. TLC said, I'm going to make it plain. I ain't too proud to be. Okay? I said, I'm going to let you know what it is.
I'm coming straight out the gate begging. Okay? To be honest.
All right? Destiny's Child said, it's just emotions taking me over. Okay? So we bring begging music back. We can get these babies into relationships. Okay? That's the more of this story. But the encouragement.
Desert with some leather. Start there.
I'm sorry. I'm not even trying to be funny, but I just had to put that out there. We got to bring the begging music back. We need to talk. Who I need to talk to? But be encouraged that nothing is in vain. I know when you're going through your process, you feel like, why are you doing this to me? There's I don't know if she's a pastor. She pastors sometimes, but she's in the church circuit in a sense. Her name's Nona Jones. I don't know if you've heard of her. She has a new book out called The Gift of Rejection. But she talks about when this guy cheated on her when she was in high school, and she was so heartbroken about it. Like it just really broke something in her. And so she ended up getting married, all of this stuff like that. Fast forward like 15 years later. So she's working for Facebook at the time. And someone reaches out to her and is like, can you take this man's profile down because they're making really bad comments about him? So she's like, what? What are you talking about? So she goes on a man's profile. It's the guy who cheated on her 15 years ago, right? Guess what happened to this man? This man was killed by his side chick. Ooh. And the wife got shot as well, but she survived. Oh my God. So she's like, God protected me from that because he cheated on me and I left. Right. So it's like, oh my God. In that moment, she's like, I'm sad he's dead, but I'm grateful that I avoided that because I thought that rejection was going to break me, but it was what the devil meant for evil, God turned it into good. So I'm saying all that to say, nothing is ever in vain. Amen. God can take something that he put in you in 2010 and bring it to fruition in 2025. So nothing is ever in vain. So just be grateful for your journey. Yeah. And as long as you're still here, just keep going. I'm not telling you not to be sad about negative things that happen to you. Right. Cry it out, but keep going.
Right. Just feel it, but you're able to get through it.
Kind of piggybacking off of you, Brittany, that, you know, when you said about like completing, I have always been big about you need to just be your full self. When I come into a relationship, nobody should be complete me. I want to be a Venn diagram. Like we are
full circle,
shared circle, you know. And
oh, smart children. It's the nerd for me.
But like that's like genuinely how I want to approach like relationships, that we are just two complete people who come together and again are partners. We build each other up. We do all those things. And so in the season of like my singleness, I especially now in this transitional space, like really taking the time to fully get to know me, to figure out, because no, I am not perfect. There are things that I need to work on when it comes to being in a relationship. Being around my nieces is pushing some patience out of me. And so it's like learning, you know, that to be a little more patient, to, you know, really what is sacrifice? What is true sacrifice? Like all of these things that I think that I thought that I knew.
Yeah. And then
and
doing
being in this
different.
space and doing it and being like, okay, Adrian, this is probably something that you really do need to work on. So taking that time to really, because we say it all the time, like, oh, I'm taking this time to like get to know myself. Are you doing it?
Are
like,
you
really like doing? And that means looking in the mirror and calling yourself out,
right,
with your flaws and saying, if I got in a relationship with somebody, he would be real pissed
right.
about X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? So like figuring,
doing it right, it's hard.
You know, figuring out all that stuff, digging deep, so that you are the best version of yourself, and that's in, you know, all capacities in your life. So I would say, yeah, really look in the mirror, really ask yourself some questions, really push yourself. There may be some tears. There may be like asking friends, like, really, what are some things that I do? Like, you got to be ready to hear some stuff about yourself and be okay with that. But I promise you, on the opposite side of that, it is a beautiful thing, and you really are walking in your fullness. So
beautiful. Well, thank you, ladies, for this talk. Brittany don't really care about people following her on social media.
I can. Why can't you? I mean, she's right, but
I was gonna say if you want to share your socials, then share your socials. If you want to share your socials,
I am Brittany L. Smith on Instagram. Also, watch season 1, 2, and 3 of Sweet Magnolias on Netflix. Season 4 coming soon.
Some people probably looking like, where I know her from? That's Peggy. That's a big pig right there.
Big
pig, not the little one.
Okay, because she has range. She got range. My socials, Adrienne, so ADRIENE, that's one N, _ BRATH. Yeah, you can follow me or not. I really post very infrequently. So, but it's a time, because when I post, it's good.
Yes.
Okay.
Period. All right. I hope y'all loved it. I gave y'all a long time. An hour? Woo! They ain't never got no hour up out of me. I'll tell you right now. And I'll be by myself. It'll be 20 minutes. I see that time. I'll be like, all right. Bye. Y'all better enjoy this.
Bye.
Y'all better re-listen a few times.
And
it's
share.
an hour right there. Yeah. Bye. Oh yeah, I forgot. Like, comment, and share. Do all that stuff. Somebody you think, share with somebody you know needs to hear. Bridges, y'all pray for me.
Lift him up in prayer.